All right, welcome to the Family Life Conference. We're grateful to have Keith Denning here with us. He is a member of our board of directors of the Foundation for Family Life, and grateful to have him be able to take some time with us and share with um, our conference a little bit about this amazing tool that he's developed. So with that, Keith, do you want to go ahead and share a little bit about, introduce yourself, talk about why you're not here and what's going on, and then
Sure. Apologize not being able to be there in person, but we just can't control what our grandkids do. And one of them decided to get sealed in the temple on November the 7th or October the 7th. So I'll be up in Seattle rather than being here with you in person. I am grateful for the decision she's made and where she's getting sealed. Um, I've got a little bit of history, as Joseph has mentioned, that I actually met Joseph at one of these FFL um, conferences. Actually, I met you a little bit before that. I was doing some work at one of your Mentor Works facilities. I was doing some facilitation there. And then I got invited to this because I was doing that. I volunteered there. And I loved the conference, and I loved what Joseph was doing. And he was kind enough to invite me to the board of directors. And um, I've really appreciated that opportunity, and I love what he's doing. Why I'm so passionate about what Joseph does is the reason I even started the business that I've started is because I've had a son and daughter-in-law who have drug addictions. And in fact, they've been, um, they do well and then they relapse. And then, that's just the way that drug addiction seems to happen. And having a facility like Joseph's and programs like Joseph's is just really can help individuals as they finally decide that that's really what they want to do is to change. So the way I got started in the business that I'm in is that I found out after enabling my son for about 4 or 5 years that I was doing everything wrong. I was making it too easy for him to keep the life that he was living. So I started a company called Choose to Be Clean. And this wasn't for the addicted loved one. What it was for the family. Because at that time, there wasn't a lot of things out on the internet that supported the families who had addicted loved ones. And so we did fall into enabling them. And I had a toll-free number they could call, and for free they could get some information after on how to best help their addicted loved one rather than to keep enabling them. As I did that work, I found out, which, anyone who's been in social sciences know there's a lot of other issues that people struggle with in their marriages. And a lot of times that's what some of it can cause the drug addictions. And so I started a program called Brighter Life. And this is why I bring this up, is that I met a lot of the people who did the presentations in Brighter Life. They're at the FFL conference. I met Wallace Goddard and David Schramm, Scott Gardner, and they were some of the presenters who did webinars with me. We did over 35 different webinars in a 6-month period on different areas that impact families, whether it's finances, intimacy, communication, you name the ones that cause divorces or family relationship hard. That's all the issues that we handled. And we had some great presenters. Joseph was one of them. He did a conversation on fatherhood. And so we had some of the best doing presentations. And they were all with a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints slant. So they were able to bring in gospel principles that can help build and strengthen families. With Brighter Life, we found, I just felt I grew up in business. And I felt that there was a great need to bring these kind of principles, these kind of teachings to businesses. And so Flourish First started out as an organization that sells these a number of trainings. We've got over 400 different courses right now, and we'll be showing that to you in just a moment. But over 400 different courses on all kinds of different aspects that individuals have to deal with. And whether it's at home, at work, in the community, we have courses that help people through. It's really what I like to call personal and relationship development. So that's what Flourish First is all about and how it came to be. And hope that wasn't too much, Joseph.
No, that sounds great. I think that gives us a nice little background. And so you transitioned from Choose to Be Clean to Brighter Life, and then that became Flourish First, essentially.
Yeah, Brighter Life and Flourish First are going concurrently. So Brighter Life is still around. Choose to Be Clean, and we have closed down.
Okay, got it. Very nice. Well, tell us a little bit about Flourish First. I think you said you have a slideshow, and then you're going to take us actually into the heart of the program after that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we since Foundation for Family, the FFL, is really about families. I thought a good topic, and I think this was recommended by you, Joseph, was strengthen individuals and families through Flourish First. So first of all, what does flourish mean? Flourish means to be in a vigorous state, to thrive, or to be in one's prime, the height of fame, excellence, influence, be successful, prosper, grow luxuriantly, or thrive in growth. So when I think about flourish, I think about plants, how they just grow if they're nurtured well, if they receive the right amount of sunshine, water, and nourishment, they thrive, they grow. And that's really what Flourish First is all about, is flourishing. And there's three basic elements to flourishing, and that's your attitude, your use of your personal strengths, and also working on your meaning and purpose. The benefits of flourishing are positive relationships, self-competence, optimism, resilience, vitality, self-determination, and prosperity. The number one role that we like to think about is success in your family, profession, and life is about others. It's not about you. Now, what might be contradictory to that is it's all about you. For you to influence others, it's all about you changing and becoming the person, a person to follow. That's how you gain influence. That's how you help others, is first becoming that yourself. Now, with those thoughts in mind, I'm going to share right now the inside of Flourish First. As I mentioned, there's over 400 different courses that we have, and they're in all different areas of life. I'm going to just share real quickly here. This is a full course list. You can actually search for different courses, but this will show you the different topics that we cover inside of Flourish First and the number of different courses that we have. Hopefully this isn't scrolling too quickly, but you'll see that we go from A to Z in all different areas of life. Some of the presentations, these presentations aren't all done. In fact, most of them aren't done by me. They're done by other individuals. For example, the leadership training that we have is actually done by a guy named Michael John Bristow, who for last 15 years has been doing leadership training in Fortune 500 companies, or Fortune 50 companies like Boeing, Exxon, ConocoPhillips, Microsoft. So the training that you're getting is very high level. Our relationships training are actually done by, some done by Wallace Goddard, and some Dr. Wallace Goddard, and some are by Dr. Dave Schramm. So you can see there's a lot of different topics that we cover. I think that's probably enough. There's some other really wonderful things that are inside of our program. Because self-awareness is such an important part of doing well as a person and doing well as a leader, We have a program or a virtual assistant called IQ.
Hello. Welcome to Q. Tell me how you're feeling today.
And what IQ allows you to do is to share where you are in your life in 8 different areas. For example, love and relationship, you may be doing well in health and fitness, maybe career and leadership, you're still doing well. Personal development, maybe you need a little help there. Maybe your family's struggling for some reason. Fun and social life, you're not getting the life balance because you're spending so much time at work. Your finances may be crumbling. Your mind and spirit, because of those areas of your life aren't doing quite as well, and you're maybe not so good there.
Let's talk a little about how you are feeling right now.
Journaling is a very important part of self-awareness and keeping healthy attitudes and being able to share your gratitude. So we have multiple journals that you can keep. Happens to be the IQ journal. So you type in here why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, and you're able to access that anytime to go back and review it.
I have a few suggestions I think might be helpful. Let me show you.
Based on the input that you give, IQ will then come back with some recommendations of courses both in the system as well as outside the system that may be helpful in those areas of your life. It will also help you with setting goals so you can move forward with those and help you track those goals. Another thing that we do is we do have changed it a little bit. Coaching calls that go on a weekly basis and cover a number of different topics. And as you can see, we have calls Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, different types of day, and also by different coaches that will help you. And these are live phone calls. So you're able to ask questions, you're able to get information that you need to help you through in these different areas. Other sections that we have where you may need different help in specific areas or a large area, for example, leadership. There's over 13 different steps inside of leadership that you're able to take, and each one of those steps have different modules or lessons inside of those. And then you have questions that you answer so you can process through the information that you're learning. And that information is for you, so you can go back and review that anytime that you need. So really, if we were to just give on a high level what Flourish First is all about, it's about developing you into the person that you want to be. Now, this is very family friendly. Something new. So if you go into courses, you can search in different areas, but you'll see that there's just all kinds of different courses available to you. We also have courses for teenagers. We have something called Teen Track, which helps teens dealing with what they're going through in their lives at this time. We also have some help in parenting teens with love. So that's kind of a high overview of what Flourish First is all about, but really it's just a platform that has a huge library of information available to you in any area of your life that you need support. Now, that is the basic level, is you have access to this platform. We also have, this is actually the most popular one, is we have a training. In addition to the coaching calls, we also do training on specific courses. For example, a lot of the businesses that we're working with right now are engaging in the leadership training. And so every week we'll have them watch a course, and then we come back and facilitate it. And then we have a scorecard, so they're able to rank themselves on different levels of expertise in those, or competency in those areas. The basic level is that I've listened to it. The second level is, or first, that's listen to it and I've learned it. The second level of competency is that I'm living it or applying it in my life. And then the highest level of competency, of course, is that I'm able to train other people and I'm able to lead in that level, in that skill set. So that's a very high view of what Flourish First is all about and how it can benefit different individuals.
Really powerful. What are the 3 competency levels and how'd you come up with them? I think that's really powerful. Listened and learned.
Listen,
Second one
learn is number 1. Level 2 is to live it, to apply it. And level 3 is the highest level, which is I've got that down so well that I can lead others, I can train others in that skill set.
That's beautiful. Thanks. How did you come up with that competency level thing?
Actually, I've gone through a lot of studies, but my wife is also an educator. And on our morning walks together, we spend a lot of time discussing, well, how can we really set this up so people can rank themselves on a self-assessment, how they're doing? And
Nice.
and so it comes from really an educational background.
So when you're going through, let's say I go through one of your leadership steps, will I be ranking myself then? I'd listen and learn, and then I'll say, yeah, I'm actually living this now.
Yeah.
And then get to a point. And is there a process that you get to so that you know, okay, I feel like I'm comfortable enough now to teach this to others?
Yeah. We actually, in the process, we teach one of the levels of leadership. There's 2 different types of leadership. There's an expert style and there's a facilitated style. The expert style is someone comes to you with a question and you give them the answer. The problem with the expert style is you've now assumed responsibility for the outcome of that whatever action that person takes. You've also reduced the ability of that individual to grow, to center their growth. The facilitated style on the other side is someone comes to you with a question, you then ask them questions to help lead them to a solution. That way they keep complete ownership of the decisions and also the task or whatever the decision is leading them to. So we talk about expert, and it's early on in the leadership program, we talk about the expert style and facilitated style. From that point on, we actually have them facilitating conversations so that they start getting that opportunity to lead in that skill set.
That's
So does that mean
fantastic.
that, sorry, does that mean that, so I saw a comment on your website about someone talking about being able to feel like they're a part of a community. So does that mean that each person that's part of your program talks to the coaches, or do they have like a group setting where they can communicate with each other?
Yes, both. So there is the one where we have the weekly calls set up where it's a phone call, they talk with one of our coaches and he gives kind of a presentation on that topic, and then you're able to ask questions as you go along. So that just comes as part of the program. The second one is what we call our facilitative membership, which is a little more expensive. And that one is the weekly calls where we work through all the different steps of a roadmap. For example, the leadership journey. We'll go through all those steps. They'll watch the videos and read the things, and then we facilitate that conversation. We take 30 minutes a week, and we talk about what we've learned and how we've applied it. We also report back on our self-assessment. Now, we've had clients now for over 2.5 years on this, and why they like it is because there is accountability. They're seeing a culture change in their business. Another thing they really like is that the way that we approach it, they're able to see how their individual employees are assessing themselves. And then they can also assess where they feel they are in those skill sets, and then they can have those conversations.
Okay, that's really cool. So when you talk about businesses, obviously people are paying for the program, especially within businesses. If someone was interested in doing your program, how would they know which level to do? Or is it more for people who want to be leaders or people who are parenting, or what kind of target audiences are you
Well,
looking at for your program?
I mean, we're going against all marketing knowledge. Marketing says you focus on a single point and a single audience. Our program is so broad that we haven't been able to do that.
Yeah.
And so when we have conversations with people, particularly businesses, because that's where most of our clients have come from, we find out where they're needing the most help. And then based on that, where they are and what they want to provide to their employees, some just provide the base platform, others do the facilitative. And that's actually been, as I said, the most popular program. And with that, we help them, every week, guide them along the way. And that's what they really like. There's someone there to help them and to bring additional input into the conversation.
Yeah, that's amazing. Really cool.
The next level up, and some of our clients have chosen to do this, is we actually do individual coaching. So when there are how do I say, employees or staff members who are ready to move, or you're wanting to move to the next step, we can do some advanced training for them, more intense training for them to really prepare them for that next step.
So if I understand what you're saying, you have at the coaching, you have like 3 different coaching levels: group, facilitative, and then individual.
Yeah, so well then, yes, the individual, I mean, we have the platform that people can subscribe to and have a membership in. The second level is facilitative, where we do it with a business or a group of people. We've done that as well. So if there are a number of people who want to be together on a half an hour session, they could sign up at that level. That's where most businesses sign up. And then the third level is if you want just individual coaching in any different area of your, mostly on business. I mean, we do some life coaching, but most of it is based on helping you get to the next level in your career.
Cool.
That's awesome. I have one other question.
Yeah, go ahead, Sophie.
Another thing from your website, when you click on Flourish First at the beginning, it talks all about soft skills and how that can help you in your not only family but your business to like launch your business career.
Yes.
So I was curious, like your experience with, I guess, bettering your soft skills and how that has helped you with your career and how you came to feel passionate about that and added that to your website.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So actually, I wasn't passionate about soft skills until I started Brighter Life and Flourish First. I believe I developed them because I was able to progress. I was in a high level of multi-billion-dollar organizations. I was at the vice president and director level. So obviously, I did have some success in using my soft skills. But anyone, I mean, the focus today is if you really want to excel or progress in a career, you have to develop soft skills. You're just not going to get very far. You need to be able to develop relationships. And probably the best skill set you can have is actually knowing how to develop leaders. And to do that, you need to be a leader yourself. And that requires soft skills.
I like that. Thanks for answering that question.
Good question. Thank you.
Can you share a few of the soft skills with us? Or do you want to take us through that on your site, or just want to talk
Sure.
about it?
Well, so, I mean, most people, as you think about soft skills, they have to do with how we relate to other people. So some call it emotional intelligence, some call it self-awareness is part of emotional intelligence. So we have emotional intelligence, we have communication, we have the different leadership skills, we have all the there's 12 different or 10 different attributes that we use of leadership that are really different characteristics of individuals. We do how to build relationships. They're very important. Critical thinking, which is also a soft skill. Problem solving is another soft skill. Influence and persuasion is another soft skill. That gives you an idea.
Fantastic.
And we also have different other roadmaps. For example, a self journey that teaches you how to develop yourself, finance journey, how to manage your finances, happiness journey, how to develop greater happiness in your life, living your life on purpose. So these are inside of these, they aren't just courses, they're groups of courses that help you move through, and they all build upon each other.
Very nice. So you've made this available for our clients, and that's been wonderful. And also for our interns. What would you recommend for somebody, maybe that's not a business, but individual that wants to jump on here? How would you recommend they start navigating through it? Obviously, it sounds like you'd have them go to the IQ and start there and then see what it recommends.
Well, really when we do offer a free 2-week trial, so they can just go on and access it that way, and they sign up for a free trial, and then they have complete access to the whole program. It isn't limited to what they have, like some programs do.
Mhm.
And when they first log into it, there is a video that talks a little bit about it, and then they can also use this Get Started that will help them find their way through the system. If they do have a particular thing that they're interested in, they can go into courses and just type in communication or whatever it is they're wanting to learn about. But IQ is a great place to start, because if you're not feeling good in some area of your life, that will help give you recommendations as to what courses to take.
Nice. Wow. Powerful stuff. Can you give us an idea of the kind of how somebody gets signed up and what the costs are, and like what the duration is? Is it a monthly fee or annual, or how do you have it set up and structured?
There is a monthly fee and an annual fee, whichever one they choose. I think with your relationship, it's for $14.95 a month to have access to everything on an individual basis.
Cool. And what do you see, how would you recommend like an individual person, like maybe have them get in and try the 2-week trial and then see if it is a good fit for them or not?
Yeah.
One of the concerns I would have is if they got into it, it'd be easy to get lost because there's so much there. So I like the suggestion you made about going into the original, I guess it's an intro video, and then going to the Get Started, right?
Yes.
And those are in the roadmap section?
Yes.
Get
Let me
started.
go back to that.
And then if somebody knew directly for sure, like, well, I'm really shy, I want to learn how to, create some relationships, then you could go straight to something like that.
Yeah. So Get Started is right here.
Okay. And it's under roadmap. Okay.
Under roadmap. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much. Are there any other, what about for businesses? Like if somebody, maybe a business sees this, how would they go about determining fit for their organization?
The best thing to do is just to email me at keith@flourishfirst.com, and we'll set up an appointment because I'd like to see what they're trying to accomplish so we can propose the best program for them.
And get a feel for that fit. Yeah, that's a good idea. Keith@flourishfirst.com.
That's Keith.
Wonderful. Well, fantastic. Thank you for taking a little time with us on this. Do you have any other things you'd like to share to wrap it up?
Well, thank you for this opportunity to share Flourish First, and also thank you for all that you're doing with the Foundation for Family Life, and also with Mentor Works and all the other projects that you're working on. I love the changes that you're making in people's lives. So thank you for that. And as you've said, we've had some of your clients use this. We've had some of your interns using this, and we certainly appreciate that as well. And I think they found it valuable. And as I know that others, as they sign up, will as well. And if they ever do have questions, they can certainly email at info@flourishfirst.com, and we'll respond right back to them.
Okay.
But thank you, Joseph, for this opportunity. And Sophie, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming on.
Hey, before we wrap it up, can you just share one or two stories of success or something that highlights maybe from it with a client or somebody that's actually used this?
Sure. Yes, we've been in a lot of different industries with this, and that's what's fun, is it's not industry specific. And we were working with a PPO which hires staff to work at different organizations. And we were going through the leadership program, and the director, and she was, she's in her probably mid 60s. She says, "This is the greatest thing I've seen. This is life-changing."
That's cool. Very cool. Thank you. Anything else come to mind?
Well, the people who have been on this, I just share with you, the people who have been on this, for a business to pay the fee every month for 2.5 years just indicates that there's value there.
Something there, yeah.
And what the owner of the business says is, he said, "This has changed the culture in our business. We are closer, we communicate much better, and we're hitting the goals that we've been setting."
That's awesome. Yeah, you mentioned that earlier. They like the accountability and they like to see that culture change in their business. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned too that and I'm guessing this is part of that same thought process, is that they like to see the employees being able to assess themselves, which that internal change is more powerful by far than anything we can do with cracking a whip. So
Yeah. As I said, it's not about you, but it's all about you. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
And something, I'll throw this in here. I mean, this comes as part of the facilitative approach for businesses. We actually meet on a quarterly basis with the leadership teams of businesses that are participating, and we help them review their goals.
oh, wow.
So we help them set them at the beginning of the year, and then we make sure that they are holding themselves accountable throughout the year for those goals.
That sounds awesome. Well, very cool. Well, thanks for sharing this information and this whole overview of Flourish First. I think it's a great tool. I hope that people will get out there and get familiar with it and check it out. So flourishfirst.com, right?
Flourishfirst.com. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Sophie, for joining us. And we look forward to catching you next time, Keith. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks, Sophie.
You're welcome. See ya.